What would you say if I told you I'd learned to fly? That I had to survive? Now, let me tell you why. A couple years back, I was stationed in Peru where there wasn't any war, so there wasn't much to do. So every Friday night, you could find me down at Eddie's just tossing Johnny Walker back until my hands grew steady. It was on such a night when I first met my second wife. I was falling down the stairs when she most likely saved my life. You see, I'd gotten in a scuffle with a guy on the second floor over whether I should stay or show myself the door. I thought I should stay because I'd just met this girl named Liz. He thought I should leave because this girl named Liz was his. I told him, look, this is just some big misunderstanding. And he agreed and thought we should discuss it down on the landing, although he didn't really say it in quite so nice a tone. His was more the language of screams and broken bones. So in place of where I would have said, hey, I don't think I like your face, he simply picked me up and threw me down the staircase. It was on said staircase where I first saw Linda Brown. She was headed up the stairs and I was headed down. She was wearing this frilly satin dress, you know, the poofy shouldered kind, and she looked so damn cute that, well, I guess falling just slipped my mind. So having forgotten what it was that I should do, instead of finishing the fall, my body sort of flew. I grabbed onto the railing and zipped past a waiter, flew over the bar, grabbed a drink for later, nearly crashed into a giant TV screen, but managed to grab the corner of the karaoke machine, which flung me past the hostess stand, shot me out the door, across 4 lanes of traffic, and into a grocery store, where I flew past the checkout stand and made my way to Floral. But I decided flying out with flowers might just be immoral. So I made my way back to the checkout stand, grabbed a paper and a pen, wrote down my name and number, and flew out the door again. Navigated 4 lanes of SUVs, flew back into Eddie's, scared the crap out of that hostess who dropped this giant bowl of spaghetti. Grabbed onto the karaoke machine and flew back over the bar just above the head of some guy smoking a cigar who grabbed his head to retain his last 3 remaining hairs. Then I quickly tipped the bartender and made my way upstairs. As I reached the second floor, I started slowing down. And sitting in the corner, I saw Miss Linda Brown. So I flew right on up to her, and before my hands got balmy, I handed her my number and told her, hey, you should call me. But as I said, I was flying, and I could barely keep myself steady, and Liz's strapping boyfriend was on my tail already, so I decided this is about as good a time as any for me to go. Waved goodbye to Linda, and flew out the window. Spent the next couple hours watching people move in herds from the splendid point of view of migratory birds. I was soaring over mountains and feeling quite inspired until the sun began to rise and I started getting tired. So I dipped down real low and flew back to the airbase, careful not to violate any Peruvian airspace, and I immediately fell asleep in my Army issue cot. But then when I woke up and I tried to fly again, I found that I'd forgot. Now, don't feel that you've been lied to because of how the story turned. It's not the story of how I fly. It's the story of how I learned. Now, if you don't believe me, just go ask my second wife. I guarantee you that was the most eventful day of her whole life. But don't tell her that I told you, or she will deny every word. You see, my second wife doesn't like me much, ever since I met my third.